and gentlemen, over a century ago, on 12th of February 1921, when India was still in the shackles of British Raj, the foundation stone of the Parliament House was laid. The 6 acres of land stood witness to colonial oppression by the British. Its central hall heard the echoes of Nehru's tryst with destiny speech after independence. As the pages of history turned in May 2023, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the new Parliament building and dedicated it to the nation. Today, 103 years later, AIUDF chief Badruddin Ajmal has made a baseless, baffling and bizarre claim. He claims that the Sansad, our temple of democracy, belongs to the Waqf. The land on which it is built belongs to the Waqf. And Samajwadi Party's Abu Azmi goes a step further and says that parliamentarians must now pay rent to the Waqf boards. Congress chips in and says, once a Waqf, always a Waqf. But what's the genesis of this claim? In 2021, a plea was filed in the Delhi High Court by the Waqf, claiming that 6 properties near the Central Vista project belong to the Waqf. This included masjids at the Mansingh Road, Motilal Nehru Marg and near the Udyog Bhavan, part of the Central Vista. They also laid claim to the masjids inside Krishi Bhavan, where the Agriculture and Rural Development Ministries are housed, and the Vice President's official residence as well. वो भी वक्फ का. The High Court in its July this year order said that the Waqf Board must withdraw its petition, but never has a claim been made to the land that the Parliament is built on till now. The BJP has now called this blind appeasement by the opposition in their greed for votes. Watch how Badruddin Ajmal and other opposition leaders are now claiming that the Parliament land itself should be returned to the Waqf.
Sudoto hetu hurumuru no hai. Apnaloge sab aji 9.7 lakhs property ase. Acre ase. Hurumuru kotha no hai. আর ডাউন ডাউন মই শুনিছো নাজানো কিমান সত্য হয় যে আমাৰ ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ যে পাৰ্লিমেন্ট আছে এই পাৰ্লিমেন্টটো এটাই বকফৰ আমাৰ প্ৰপাৰ্টি আছে এইটোৰ ওপৰত বনোৱা হৈছে हर तरफ एक ही आवाज था कि पार्लियामेंट भी खुद और आप लोग रिसर्च करेंगे मिलेगा वक्फ की प्रॉपर्टी का लिस्ट आज पूरी दुनिया में आ चुका है उस पार्लियामेंट है यही वक्फ की प्रॉपर्टी के ऊपर बनाया गया
एक बार वो अल्लाह की जमीन है तो एक बार जमीन हो गई तो रहती दुनिया तक वक्फ ही रहेगी हाँ वो रेंट पे जा सकती है लीज पे जा सकती है
क्या जो पार्लियामेंट के सदस्य हैं आप उनसे भी रेंट मांगेंगे क्योंकि पार्लियामेंट की जमीन पर भी दावा हो रहा है
बिल्कुल जितनी जमीनें वक्फ की हैं वो हमारे बाप दादाओं ने वक्फ किया हुआ है
वक्फ जो लोग करते हैं जो हमारा एक्ट है या जो हमारा संविधान है उसमें इस बात का अधिकार है कि आप अपनी प्रॉपर्टी किसी को भी दे सकते हैं किसी को भी वक्फ कर सकते हैं तो इसलिए जो वक्फ की ज़मीन है अगर उस पर नाजायज़ किसी भी चाहे वो व्यक्ति का हो या सरकार का हो उसको उस प्रॉपर्टी वो जायदाद लौटानी चाहिए
Of course, this isn't the first bizarre claim by the Waqf boards across India. The Sunni Waqf Board had claimed that Shah Jahan gave us Taj Mahal. This plea was junked. In fact, they said in the Supreme Court that the Shah Jahan, when he built the Taj Mahal, the claim of it was for Allah, and Allah has transferred it to the Sunni Waqf Board, and it should actually be notified now in the name of the Sunni Waqf Board. The Supreme Court itself junked this claim. Waqf even claimed that a mosque in Allahabad High Court complex was belonging to the Waqf boards, and this plea too was rejected by the apex court. Their claim to the Surat Municipal Corporation building was dismissed by the Waqf Tribunal as illegal, erroneous and arbitrary. In Hyderabad, 1,654 acres were claimed by the Waqf, but the Supreme Court returned the land back to the state government. 7 Hindu majority villages in Tamil Nadu, including a 1500-year-old mandir, has also been claimed by the Waqf. This dispute is still ongoing in the courts. Interestingly, weeks before the 2014 Lok Sabha polls, the UPA declared 123 properties of the Waqf of the government of India as the Waqf land. they just withdrew the government's lien to these lands. Just last year, the NDA government recovered the land from the Waqf Board. Was this all with an eye on appeasement? I confronted AIUDF Chief Badruddin Ajmal earlier in the day. Watch how he was forced to admit that he has no proof to back his claim that the parliament land belongs to the Waqf. आप जानते हैं 100 साल से ज्यादा से पार्लियामेंट वहां पर खड़ा है। 1920 में पार्लियामेंट की बिल्डिंग ये परिसर बना था। अब आप कह रहे हैं ये वक्फ का है। आप कह रहे हैं बहुत से लोग ऐसा कहते थे। ये कौन लोग हैं?
मैडम, आपको शायद ये नहीं मालूम, वक्फ जो है ये वक्फ हमारा 1400 साल से चल रहा है। पूरे हिंदुस्तान में नहीं, पूरी दुनिया में वक्फ की जमीनें हैं और 1400 साल से हमारे प्रोफेट साहब के जमाने से ये चला आ रहा है। मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि है, मैंने कहा हमने वहां यही सुना है, इसके ऊपर रिसर्च करने की जरूरत है। मैं कल से बोल रहा हूं।
तो लोग ये भी तो कह सकते हैं कि आप वक्फ के नाम पर देश की सारी जमीन हड़पना चाहते हैं, ये भी तो कहा जा सकता है।
हाँ, कहने वाले कुछ भी कह सकते हैं, कोई किसी का मुंह नहीं रोक सकता, लेकिन उसके लिए प्रूफ देना पड़ेगा। और मैंने भी कहा है कि हमने सुना है, मैंने ऑथेंटिक ये नहीं कहा कि है। अगर मैं हाँ कहता है तो मैं फिर भी अभी भी कह रहा हूं कि इंटरनेट पे जाइए, नेट पे जाइए और गूगल में जाइए, ये सब चीजें आज मौजूद है।
So ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight: no sabut, only greed for satta? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, national spokesperson of the BJP. Also joining me, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political scientist, Vishnu Jain, advocate in the Supreme Court, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Congress leader, Anurag Bhadoria, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. But my first question goes to Waris Pathan, national spokesperson of the AIMIM. Waris Pathan sahab, my question simple. Taj Mahal aapka ho na paya to ab Sansad hi le lijiye. You can take the land of the parliament and let's all begin. All parliamentarians should now start paying rent to Abu Azmi Sahab because वो कह रहे हैं rent देना चाहिए. ये भी बता दीजिए, if there is rent, will there be GST on it and will that GST go to the government of India or to the Waqf Board? ये भी आज देश को बता दीजिए.
Well, Navika, what the Supreme Court has said is clear that once a waqf, always a waqf. That's clear. You cannot sell it, you cannot purchase it, you cannot change it. There is a clear thing. Now the thing is that the Waqf Act 1995 is already into existence. Amendment was done in the year 2013. Things were going on. There was a Waqf Board, there is a Waqf Tribunal. If there is some intricacies there, they are very well to look after it. And if some situation arises, some dispute arises out of it, very well you can go in revision to the High Court. Case that you can go to the Supreme Court. Law is clear. But now the Modi government has introduced the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 in the Parliament. Now when the bill was introduced, we clearly said it was with the mala fide intention. The intentions of the BJP is clear. They want to usurp the property belonging to the Muslims, our orphanages, our masjids, our graveyards. They just want to usurp that properties. Now what happened when the bill was introduced? Objections were raised. A debate ensued in the parliament, and after the debate, the government has appointed a JPC committee. Now JPC, our party president Barrister Asaduddin Owaisi is also the member of the JPC committee. Every day they are holding meetings in different parts of the country and objections are being sent to them. Debate is taking place there as well. Now pending that, during the course of that, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board has issued a QR code that whosoever is interested in registering the protest or objection must use that in it. And you won't believe, crores of people have raised objections on the QR code and it is before the JPC. The JPC has to decide. But what I say, the amendment which the government is intending to bring is per se illegal, against the constitution, is a grave violation of the constitution, article 14, 25, 26 and 29. Why I say that? Because the Limitation Act which they want to bring, they want to remove that limitation which is not there in the Hindu Endowment Board. Why that? Why don't they remove that? Now as far as the Waqf Board is concerned, they are spreading lies and canards, Navika, every day. By saying that the tribunal will decide everything, the Waqf Board will decide everything, the courts have no power. No, that is a lie. You can go in revision. Another blatant lie which they are spreading is that आप किसी की भी जगह को बोल दो, this is the work, it becomes of. No, it is a private property given to us by our ancestors, by our seniors, for their own purpose.
So please enlighten me, Waris Pathan. Please enlighten me. Does the land of the parliament belong to the Waqf? You know, all your previous objections, we all know them by heart now. I want to know, today a claim has been laid to the land on which the parliament is built. Ab parliament kya aapka hua?
If the claim is there, and if let them do the investigation, let them inquire, and the land belongs to the Waqf, they have to return it back. I don't have any evidence, but if your government has to make an inquiry whether that land belong to us. So many land belonging to the Waqf have been taken over by the government. The government must ensure to it that the land which is taken over by the government, that must also be returned to the Muslims. These are our properties. Nobody can take it. Once a Waqf, always a Waqf.
Anand Ranganathan is getting extremely restless. Anand Ranganathan, ये संसद अब इनका हुआ. GST also will go to the Waqf Board. At least that's what I understand. Please respond.
Good evening, Navika. Let me break some news to you.
If it belongs to the Waqf,
प्रधान साहब, this is very unbecoming. देखिए, अब आपने वक्फ से मेरा घर ले लिया, मेरी जबान मत लीजिए, प्लीज. मेरी जबान भी वक्फ की है क्या? प्लीज रुक जाइए, प्लीज रुक जाइए. Navika, good evening. Look, let me break some news to you. 3 years ago, I investigated. Forget about the parliament, Navika. The studio where you are is on Waqf land. So you might have to vacate that as well. But look, first a 1500-year-old temple in Tamil Nadu.
अब मुझे रेंट देना पड़ेगा इस कुर्सी का, अबू आजमी साहब को.
100%. But look, Navika, the reality. Let me break it to you. First a 1500-year-old temple in Tamil Nadu, then an entire village in Bihar, and now nothing less than the Indian Parliament has been claimed by Waqf to be on its land. The day is not far when from Peshawar to Plassey, the subcontinent would be united again as one nation under Waqf. This is unbelievable. We have the draconian Waqf Act that has usurped tens of thousands of acres of government, personal, even temple land, and we only want to amend this act. Unjust, discriminatory, draconian acts are not amended, Navika. They are abrogated. Do not amend the Waqf Act. Abrogated. World over, disputes over property are settled using existing laws that are community and religion agnostic. Why should a particular religious community be armed with another set of laws, those that are patently discriminatory towards members of other community as a primary instrument of defense, or indeed, as we are seeing, offense? Is there a Hindu equivalent of the Waqf Act? Promulgate one then, in interest of equality. Let those who want continuation of the Waqf Act watch as Hindus lay claim to thousands of mosques and Muslim villages and enjoy the privilege of the disputes being addressed primarily not through the courts, but via the clauses and strictures of the Hindu equivalent of the Waqf Act. Will the government do this? No. Amending the Waqf Act, Navika, is akin to chopping the head of a hydra. This is because while you might have removed, yes, good thing done, removed a few discriminatory and draconian clauses from the Act, a vast majority of them remain untouched. Let me give you a few examples. Section 28, for example, it gives Waqf the power to order a collector to implement the decisions of the board. Section 8 says the state has to pay for Waqf survey. This is in direct violation of Article 27 of our Constitution that says no person shall be compelled to pay any taxes, the proceeds of which are specifically appropriated in payment of expenses for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion or religious denomination. Then there is section 101 that has not been changed. Says the survey commissioner, members of the board, every officer, every auditor of the board, and every other person appointed to discharge any duties imposed on him by this act shall be deemed to be public servant, as is understood by the Indian Penal Code. Now you know what happens when you touch a public servant, literally or metaphorically. Then there is section 54. It gives the power to declare you an encroacher. Waqf tribunal, Navika, just 30 seconds. Waqf tribunal decision can only be overturned by a long and financially draining legal process. The Waqf, Navika, is a parallel government being run by the state. In its board, it has its legislature. In its surveyor, it has its executive. And its tribunal, it has its own judiciary. If India is to be safe from becoming an Islamic republic, the Waqf Act shouldn't just be amended, it should be abrogated. Waqf Act doesn't just appease Muslims. The problem is it discriminates against non-Muslims. It is one of the reasons why Hindus are 8th-class citizens in their own country. So I say to politicians, 10 seconds, it is better to be a hero who is forgotten than to be a coward who is remembered. Do not be cowards. Do the right thing. Abrogate the Waqf Act.
Well, at least a beginning has been made and the JPC is considering this. पर अनुराग भदौरिया जी, मेरा सवाल आपसे है, आज अगर संसद की जमीन भी वक्फ की हुई तो क्या अखिलेश यादव जी रेंट देंगे? क्योंकि अबू आजमी साहब कह रहे हैं कि रेंट देना पड़ेगा सारे सांसदों को। अब अखिलेश यादव जी तो सांसद हैं, तो रेंट देंगे क्या? क्या ये वक्फ की लैंड होगी? कोई भी उठ के खड़ा कर देगा और कह भी रहे हैं कि एविडेंस नहीं है लेकिन ये वक्फ का है, गूगल कर लीजिए। तो गूगल कर लीजिए, चांद सूरज सब कुछ इनका है, क्योंकि ताज मानसिंह है दिल्ली में अगर उनका, तो बेंगलुरु में आईटीसी का होटल उनका है, एयरपोर्ट्स भी उनके हैं, दिल्ली का एयरपोर्ट उनका है, मुंबई का एयरपोर्ट उनका है। मुझे बता दीजिए अनुराग भदौरिया जी, ये किस तरह की बातें हैं?
ये इस तरह की बातें हैं, जब चुनाव आता है तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को एक मुद्दा दे दिया जाता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस तरह के प्रोपेगेंडा को चलाए।
अबू आजमी भारतीय जनता पार्टी में, अबू आजमी भारतीय जनता पार्टी में है।
दीजिए, अब आप टोकने लगे।
नहीं, सवाल पूछ रही हूँ।
इतनी देर तक
अबू आजमी साहब भारतीय जनता पार्टी में है या समाजवादी पार्टी में है?
मुझे तो बोलने दीजिए। अरे मुझे 60 सेकेंड बोलने दीजिए, उसके बाद आप अपना एजेंडा परोसिएगा। आप पहले से परोसने लगे, आप खुद ही एक्सपोज हो जाते तो मैं क्या करूं? मुझे तो बोलने दीजिए 60 सेकेंड। मैं
सवाल
बोलने का मौका दीजिए। अभी
सवाल पूछे तो आपको एजेंडा लगता है, आप बोले तो एजेंडा नहीं है। चलिए बोलिए,
शुरू करें तो
चलिए बोलिए।
अरे आप बोलने तो दीजिए ना। देखिए, बोलने दीजिए। लोकतंत्र में आप तो इतने अच्छे पत्रकार हैं। देखिए, सवाल यह है,
नाविका पाकिस्तान के
देश के अंदर में, तभी हम लोग हमेशा से कहते हैं, इंडिया गठबंधन समाजवादी लोग, कि हमें संविधान को बचाना है। संविधान बचाने की जिम्मेदारी हमारी इसीलिए तो है। अगर हम संविधान बचाने की नहीं बात करें तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी पता नहीं क्या सगुफा छोड़ने लगेगी समाज के अंदर में। भाई, ये एक बिल आया पार्लियामेंट के अंदर में, वक्फ बोर्ड का बिल आया, उस पर चर्चा हुई, विपक्ष ने उसमें ऑब्जेक्शन किया, फिर उसके बाद उसमें कुछ चीजें ऐसी लगी जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के एजेंडे को सूट कर रही थी। कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि जमीन को ग्रैब करना चाहते हैं, कुछ जमीन को ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी हथकंडा हड़पना चाहती है या किसी और को, अपने लोगों को देना चाहती है, इसलिए किसी प्राइवेट को देना ना चाहे, इसलिए उसको बाद में जब उसके ऑब्जेक्शन हुआ तो जेपीसी में गई। अभी जेपीसी में वहां पे मीटिंगें चल रही हैं, डिस्कशन चल रहा है। जेपीसी अपनी रिपोर्ट पार्लियामेंट के टेबल पर रखेगी, चर्चा होगी, आपको पता चल जाएगा भाई उसमें कुछ गड़बड़ी थी, तभी तो सुधार के लिए जेपीसी में गई ना। जेपीसी में क्यों गया ज्वाइंट पार्लियामेंट कमेटी में कोई बिल? तभी जाता है जब उसमें लगता है कि नहीं, सरकार को भी लगा होगा कि नहीं इसको जेपीसी में जाना चाहिए। कहीं ना कहीं सरकार बैकफुट पे आई होगी, सरकार को लगा होगा कि कुछ इसमें हम जो बिल लेके आए उसमें कुछ गड़बड़ी है, उसकी सुधार होगा, सभी के मत होंगे, सभी एक साथ अपना वो बनाएंगे, एक मत बनाएंगे, उसके बाद वो पार्लियामेंट के टेबल पे आएगा और उस पे बहस होगी और सबके सामने आ जाएगा आखिर क्या सच क्या झूठ है। लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी बार बार ऐसा काम करती है। देखिए, नजूल का बिल आया था उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में, यहाँ पे विधानसभा के अंदर में, लगा कि नहीं कुछ जमीनें, लगता तो नहीं है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी कब्जा करना चाहती है। कई बार ऐसा देखने को मिला है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग, जैसे आपने अयोध्या में भी देखा होगा, भूमाफिया देखे गए थे वहां पे, तो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि जमीन को भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग कहीं कब्जा करना चाहते हैं। तो इसलिए देखो, नजूल का भी यहाँ पे सरकार तो बीजेपी की है और बहुमत की सरकार है, फिर भी देखिए नजूल का बिल आया था, वो वापस चला गया। अभी उसमें बहस विधान परिषद में दोबारा से होगी। तो इसके मतलब इसी तरह से इसकी जेपीसी बनी। तो हमने अभी कुछ हुआ नहीं, चारों तरफ से एक माहौल बनना शुरू हो गया। अनुराग जी बताइए, क्या अखिलेश यादव जी रेंट देंगे? अनुराग जी बताइए, क्या फलाने जी रेंट देंगे? अनुराग जी बताइए, क्या ताजमहल इसका हो गया? अनुराग जी बताइए, क्या फलानी? अरे क्या चल रहा है इस देश के अंदर में? संविधान है ना,
अनुराग जी,
लोकतंत्र है ना।
अनुराग जी, अब आप 180 प्लस 60 240 सेकंड बोल लिए। अब मैं पूछ लूं आपसे सवाल। अनुराग जी, ये सवाल रेंट का सवाल ऐसा है। अनुराग भदौरिया जी, इनकमिंग खोलिए, आउटगोइंग आपका सिर्फ चल रहा है, इनकमिंग खोल दीजिए। मैं पूछना चाहती हूं आपसे, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूं, ये अब्बू आजमी बीजेपी में कब शामिल हो गए? मुझे पता ही नहीं चला। आपको पता चला? जरा फोन लगाइए ना। आप ही के नेता हैं समाजवादी पार्टी के, जो कह रहे हैं रेंट लेना चाहिए क्योंकि वक्फ की जमीन पर पार्लियामेंट है। उन्हें नहीं बताया आपने कि जेपीसी बन गई है? शायद महाराष्ट्र में नहीं गई होगी खबर।
सुनिए मेरी बात, सुनिए। अरे सुन तो लीजिए, मैं कह रहा हूं, मैं तो आपको चैलेंज करता हूं, सुना दीजिए भाई। उन्होंने बोला कि पार्लियामेंट में जो बैठे लोग उनसे रेंट लेना चाहिए, सुना दीजिए आप। मैंने तो बात चला दी, दोबारा से चला दीजिए नाविका जी।
अच्छा,
इस तरह की बातें करना कि बात का बतंगड़ बना लेना, मैंने तो सुनी है ना बाइट, आप सुनाइए। उन्होंने बोला कि पार्लियामेंट से रेंट
चलिए सुनिए,
बताइए आप।
बिल्कुल
बोला क्या उन्होंने कि पार्लियामेंट से रेंट लेना चाहिए?
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल
बना लेना,
यहाँ फैक्ट्स पर बात होती है, मैं आपको फैक्ट सुना देती हूँ। कम से कम आपने इतना तो आज मान लिया कि अबू आजमी समाजवादी पार्टी के हैं, इतना आपने मान लिया। बहुत बड़प्पन है आपका, इतना बड़प्पन है। आप सुन भी लीजिए क्या कहा।
मानते ही हैं, आप बताइए।
सुन लीजिए क्या कहा।
बड़प्पन नहीं हो हमारे पार्टी के नेता, हमें ना बताइए, आप सुनाइए।
सुन तो लीजिए।
लेकिन जब वक्फ बोर्ड की जमीन है ना, तो बेची नहीं जा सकती। एक बार वो अल्लाह की जमीन है, तो एक बार जमीन हो गई तो रहती दुनिया तक वक्फ ही रहेगी। हाँ, वो रेंट पे जा सकती है, लीज पे जा सकती है।
क्या जो पार्लियामेंट के सदस्य हैं, आप उनसे भी रेंट मांगेंगे, क्योंकि ये पार्लियामेंट की जमीन पर भी दावा हो रहा है।
बिल्कुल, जितनी जमीनें वक्फ की हैं वो हमारे बाप दादाओं ने वक्फ किया हुआ है।
भैया सुन लिया, अनुराग भैया, जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव, इसका मतलब समझा दीजिए अनुराग भदौरिया जी। मेरी हिम्मत पस्त हो गई है। अब जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव जी आपको समझाएंगे। जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव, प्लीज होल्ड ऑन। आप मुझे धमका नहीं सकते, आप मुझे धमकाने की कोशिश मत करिए। अनुराग भदौरिया जी, आई हैव गिवन यू इनफ टाइम, आई एम लोअरिंग योर फेडर। जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव, प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड।
Navika ji, the provisions of the Waqf Act, which are being amended, I think ought not to have existed on the statute books. I think patently unconstitutional. But it has survived this long, but it's time that they go. You cannot have 9 lakh acres of land has been usurped. I call this usurping. It's not any kind of donation. किस बाप, किस दादा का जमीन है ये? कि बाबर का है, बाबर का है, मुगल का है, किस बाप का है? ये देश के जमीन है, और देश के जमीन का हक केवल देश के नागरिकों पे होता है, किसी आक्रांताओं का लैंड नहीं है ये। सो द मैनर इन विच दे हैव डिस्ट्रॉयड टेम्पल्स, द मैनर इन विच दे हैव यूसर्प्ड lands of the native Indians, I think this is what they call this as some kind of a donation. It's a farce. 9 lakh acres donated. Who are these Mughals? Can they spell out how many people actually, how many Muslims in this country are in a position to donate land? Can you give any statistics? I think this is all land of the natives which has been usurped in the name of Waqf, and this entire opposition seems to be having their own hand in the pie. Mallikarjun Kharge's name comes up in the JPC. Somebody takes the name of. Can I complete? I did not interject when you mentioned when you made your point.
किस तरह से बहराइच में यहाँ पे
बाप का 9 लाख एकड़ का जमीन है, बताइए।
बहराइच में कानून व्यवस्था फेल हुई, एक व्यक्ति की मौत हो गई, उस पे आप बोलेंगे नहीं? कमाल की बात कर रहे हैं आप भी। हमारी समस्याओं पे आप कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे।
बहराइच का हमने कल डिबेट किया था और आप उस डिबेट में थे। आज मुद्दा अगर पार्लियामेंट की वक्फ जमीन का है तो आपको मुद्दे पर रहना पड़ेगा। अनुराग भदौरिया जी, मुद्दे पर बात करें। जीवीएल नरसिम्हा राव जी, आपसे सवाल पूछे,
लेकिन वो मुगल पे चले गए ना, दिक्कत ये है। वो मुद्दे पर है ना, जेपीसी की बात करें ना,
तो फिर बाप दादा
मुद्दे पर रहिए। पार्लियामेंट में है बिल, बताइए क्या पार्लियामेंट में आपने, बताइए सरकार में, बताइए क्या करने जा रहे हैं, बताइए आपने क्या संशोधन किया, बताइए आपको देश को, बताइए आपने क्या संशोधन किया है, देश जानना चाहता है अब सरकार में।
करोड़ की
अब यहाँ प्रोगंडा मुगल और पता नहीं अकबर और पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान भाग गए।
नहीं, you know, the question tonight is this just a bizarre claim? Is this just a bizarre claim, or should we be worried about when claims like these come up in the middle of the debate on whether or not the Waqf bill should be amended? And Kamruddin Kamruzaman Chaudhry, my question to you is very simple. In 1995 and in 2013, Even in 1984, it was Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi's governments which handed over 123 properties to the Waqf boards. And at that time, the courts had to step in and stay the order. Then in 2013, another attempt was made by making changes in the Waqf Act. And once again, the courts had to step in and stay. My question to you is, it has happened repeatedly. The Congress party has used these laws and these acts in one way or another to appease a certain section of the country. And today, you are seeing a status where people are now beginning to say that even the parliament land belongs to the Waqf Board. Now, is this something that you have perpetuated by being in power for so long?
Navika ji, first and foremost, I congratulate you to counter the B team of the RSS, Mr. Badruddin Ajmal, on such a bizarre claim. The claim on such a issue cannot be trivialized with the basic debate that we are opposing the Waqf amendment brought by a fascist regime in India. The cat is out of the bag when the official spokesperson of the BJP, Mr. GVL, on your panel, he says that 9 lakh acres of property that is donated to the Waqf seems to be the government land. He cannot substantiate, because each and every property that is there, I am counting all the Waqf, not the Waqf by user, but that my forefather donated for the cause of the Waqf. That is a Waqf, and people like GVL have got no business to interfere in what I do with my property or what my ancestors have done with the property. The Mughals or the British.
When land on which parliament is built, is it a business or not to question it?
How
Can we question that, Kamruzaman Chaudhary?
I told you, I congratulated you for questioning the B team of the RSS, Mr.
Okay, Asaduddin Owaisi speaks about it. That is also the B team of the BJP. If Badruddin Ajmal speaks about it, it is B team. Ab ye bata dijiye, Abu Azmi of the Samajwadi Party, is he also B team of the BJP or part of the BJP? What do you want to say?
Navika, it's very common sense. I don't know where the debate is going, because the JPC that is formed is being biased and opinionated in the first instance. We all know that. But let me cite you a few examples out here. Even if the property is declared as Waqf, there is a set agenda or set procedure let out according to the Waqf Act 1995, wherein under section 40 of the Waqf Act, a property can be designated after due diligence, due survey and due documentation of that property. Nobody can just go and declare a parliament building a Waqf property just because I feel or I heard. It's not the case like that. Don't trivialize it. That's what I said. Then most importantly, with regards to Abu Azmi's statement, he is right in some instance. Let me cite you 3 examples from Calcutta itself. You know the Shaw Willows building or the RC Racecourse Golf Club, which is around 200 years old, and it is built on Waqf land. Even the Calcutta High Court had to educate on the matter and increase the land to 1 lakh rupees per month. The Taliganj Club, which is also 100 years old club, the Calcutta High Court had to educate and declare that yes, this is a Waqf land, and the petty rent of 1 rupees per month that is being paid is nothing compared to the present that they have set at 1 lakh rupees per month. So the question is that the Waqf properties have been encroached by vested interest across the country. There are vested interests, a deep state is in work, which has brought in this Waqf Amendment Act to usurp the properties that are donated to the Waqf. And I believe, Navika, I am making a statement, very derogatory statement. You can take me to court. The parliament may belong to yours, but the street will be ours. Remember this with regards to the Waqf Act. Every democratic avenues will be
yours and ours.
Taken up.
Yours matlab? No, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, yours matlab? नहीं, yours matlab parliament may be yours matlab आपका नहीं है parliament, आपका नहीं है parliament. Yours matlab what? What are you trying to say?
With the rights guaranteed to us.
No, what are you trying to say? What does yours mean here, Anand? Can you understand it?
Navika, this is complete and utter incitement for a civil war. The parliament may be yours, street will be ours. What the hell is going on in this country? And let me ask him, for what he's saying that somebody is saying contentiously this is Waqf property. Why doesn't he go to the court? Why do you need a separate act for this? Do Hindus have a separate act for this? Can I say there is a Hindu Waqf equivalent act and this mosque is mine? If I believe that mosque is mine, wouldn't I have to go to the court? What gives them the better right? Now please, I'm not talking to you.
Government control.
When you
but
say
you
your
want the Waqf property to get into the government control. How?
Well,
what an
Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, you are making insightful statements. Number one, being a Congress leader, I thought you would be more responsible than that. Shocking. Parliament may be yours, road will be ours. Parliament belongs to the citizens of this country. They send their elected, chosen representatives there. If you have any other agenda, then kindly do not be in politics, because that is separatism that you are trying to propose here. On the other hand, when you call the AIUDF the B team of the BJP, let me also do a fact check on you. It has been in alliance with the Congress party longer than it has ever been in alliance with any other party. In fact, in 2021 Assam elections, it was part of you, and today it has stated publicly its allegiance to the India Alliance. Mr. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, थोड़ा सा पढ़ लीजिए, थोड़ी सी नॉलेज रख लीजिए, लेकिन इस तरह की डिवाइसिव बातें, पार्लियामेंट में भी yours but the road will be ours. What do you mean by yours and ours? Isn't it all ours together? And Vishnu Jain, when he is reading the quotes to us, and today is a significant day when the Lady of Justice is actually not holding a sword but a constitution in her hand, और आंख से पट्टी भी चली गई है. अब सब कुछ दिख रहा है. आपको दिख रहा है ये क्या हो रहा है यहाँ?
First of all, Navika, I was thinking of responding to Mr. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, but I think this hate speech, and I term it as hate speech, Navika. I think there is no need to respond to him. Now let me put certain facts here. Why Mr. Chaudhary is completely erroneous and wrong, and why this act is so important. Please see section 40 of the act and just give me 10 seconds to read this. What he is quoting is absolutely erroneous, Navika. What does section 40 read? The board may itself collect information regarding any property which has reason to believe to be Waqf property. And if any question arises whether a particular property is Waqf property or not, it may, after making such inquiry, they will only conduct the inquiry, decide the question. What is it talking about, Navika? The point here is this. Now the second issue which I want to highlight today on your show. 9,500 evacuee properties which were of the central government were given to the Waqf Board in violation, in complete utter violation of the constitution, Navika. And the third point is this, Navika. I was called before the JPC on 14th of October. Mr. Anurag Bhadoria is claiming so much about the JPC. Let me tell you, before the lawyers could even address the JPC, the 9 members of the JPC walked out from the JPC. They did not even have the guts to listen to us. We were asked to give our presentation to the JPC 5 days in advance. And the presentation was given to all the members of the JPC. And then why did they walk out? Why did they walk out from the JPC? They should have had the guts to listen to us and to make a response to our arguments. That's the point, Navika. See, Navika, the issue is this. Why we are saying that amendments in the Waqf Act are required is this. Please compare the Waqf Act 1923. Ask any of the panelists, when did the first Waqf Act come? Ask any of the panelists.
Waris Pathan, Waris Pathan, please respond.
All the subject very well.
1935 it was
Waris Pathan,
1935 it was codified.
Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Well, Navika, this question. Well, Navika, this question is asked by my learned friend, Mr. Since last 6 months, since the issue has risen of the Waqf land, and he very well knows that 1935 the first act came, 1995 the act is there, 2013 the amendment took place. Why is wasting time? Then he should come before the nation and say why Waqf amendment is required. Why is it applicable to the Hindu Endowment Act? No, you take out the limitation law from the Waqf Act, but that is applicable to the Hindu Endowment Act. You don't do that. In Waqf Act, earlier the imprisonment was for 2 years and non-bailable. Now they have removed that section. Why? Now the collector is solely responsible for that. The law board, law tribunal, everybody will be taken up, the charge will be taken by the collector. You mean to say that the collector will decide everything? And why you are spreading lies? order from the law tribunal or a Waqf board can be very well changed in revision before the Honorable High Court. That order can very well be changed before the Supreme Court. You know that very well in revision. But why you want to interfere into it? And why is it 9.7 lakh acres?
You're being questioned and contradicted, countered by Vishnu Jain. 1935 or 1923? Why do you call it 1923? Please respond.
सी नाविका जी, पहला वफ एक्ट आया 1913 में, इन लोगों को थोड़ा पढ़ना चाहिए। उसके बाद वफ एक्ट आया 1923 में, फिर जो भारतीय संविधान जब आया, देन द वफ एक्ट केम इन 1954, व्हिच वाज अमेंडेड इन 1995 वफ एक्ट केम, एंड देन द अमेंडमेंट हैपेंड इन 2013। सो ये पूरा 1913 प्लीज
express that yes, 2013 it was amended. Kindly repeat that also. And what did the Act of 1913 say? Kindly say that. Kindly express what 1913 said. And when the Supreme Court had also taken that into consideration and said that once a work, always a work. That was very well considered by the Honorable Supreme Court. You know that? You know that? That Act was also considered by the Honorable Supreme Court.
Waris Pathan bhai, break lagaye. 1 minute. 1 minute. You don't want the Act of 19... No, you don't want the Act of 1995 and 2013 amended simply because you were given sweeping powers in those acts. Isn't that the fact? GVL Narasimha Rao, I'm coming to you, Anand Ranganathan, but ये 2013 पर अटके हुए हैं। बी टीम कौन है कांग्रेस का, फिर बता दीजिए।
ये बोलने नहीं दे रहे।
Navika, see, look at some of these provisions of Section 36A, Section 40, Section 7. Many of these acts, they give undue powers to the Waqf Board to actually usurp any land. So most of the land, if one goes into the details of these 9 lakh acres of land, you will certainly realize that a large amount of this land is even public land, government land, which has been usurped with connivance of political parties like the Congress Party, the Samajwadi Party, and the manner in which the allegations came against Mr. Kharge in the JPC. If he had the guts, his members should have countered those. They should have come out and given clarifications. Instead, they boycotted a JPC. It's very rare. You see, parliamentary committees, whether it's JPC or standing committees, they actually, no boycotts happen. Usually never happens. You have an entire opposition. It's a clear vote bank politics they are enacting, even in the JPC. We have seen
Anand Ranganathan, why does Mr. Waris Pathan, why does Kamruzaman Chaudhary want to hang on to the 2013 amendment of the Waqf Act?
They want to hang on to it because it gives them to run a parallel government. As simple as that. Nobody wants to relinquish that control. But I want to make 2 quick points. सब जानते हैं, आप भी जानती हैं, वारिस पठान साहब ये बहुत गलत काम कर रहे हैं। देखिए, मेरे बड़े भाई हैं, बड़े भाई इस पे मेरा छोटा भाई होने का ये नाता है कि आपको थोड़ा देर सुन लो आप प्लीज मेरी बात। ये जो एंसेस्टर्स की बात कर रहे हैं ना, हमारे एंसेस्टर वारिस पठान साहब के और मेरे एंसेस्टर दोनों सेम हिंदू थे। अब पता नहीं बीच में क्या हुआ, मैं इनसे पूछना नहीं चाहता, लेकिन क्या हुआ ये अपने कह रहे मेरे एंसेस्टर अलग थे। नंबर 2, वारिस पठान साहब मैं जानता हूं, सुन लीजिए, वारिस पठान प्लीज इंटरप्ट मत करिए, बहुत जरूरी बात मैं कहने जा रहा हूं। नाविका प्लीज ध्यान से सुनिए। वारिस पठान साहब मेरे अजीज मित्र भी हैं, बड़े भाई भी हैं। ये साल में 1 केस लड़ते हैं। इनका जुहू पे 12 कमरे का बंगला है। मान लीजिए मैंने कहा पठान साहब एक हिंदू इक्विवेलेंट है वक्फ एक्ट का, वो कह रहा है कि आपका 12 कमरे का बंगला हिंदू इक्विवेलेंट वक्फ एक्ट के उस पे है, लैंड पे है, वो हमें दीजिए। ये क्या करेंगे? ये कोर्ट जाएंगे ना?
नहीं, ये गलत। एक मिनट, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं।
सुनिए,
लेट मी फिनिश। A 10-second rebuttal. नहीं, you are spreading no lies. You are spreading lies. Nobody can go and say ये वक़्फ़ है। अरे before somebody gives a waqf, there is a due diligence.
तो फिर वक्फ ट्रिब्यूनल क्यों जाना है? Go to court. There are courts works in this country. If you have to challenge something, then don't go to a tribunal of the Waqf, go to the courts of the land, they will settle the disputes. The problem is that you want a separate dispensation, you want it to be run by the people who are close to you from your community. You do not want to subject yourself to the law of the land, to the judicial process of the land, and you say, हम संविधान बचाएंगे, ये संविधान गिरा रहे हैं. That is the hypocrisy in what you are saying. And just one thing that I want to put on record in the end. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, Turkey, Libya, Egypt, Sudan, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Tunisia, and Iraq, all countries that are Islamic countries do not have the Waqf. क्या वो कम Islamic है वारिस पठान से? It's a question, Mr. Waris Pathan, you need to think about. We leave it at that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1. On the